I'm Justin Cates, Director of Emergency Management for the City of Nashua, and we're here today at the alternate care site that's being set up here at Nashua High School South. This is a facility that's meant to provide some additional capacity, surge capacity, for our two hospitals here within the city. And what we're doing today is we're walking through, doing sort of a final walkthrough of the facility to identify if there's any remaining needs or if there's any concerns with the flow of patients here within the building, making sure that everybody's on the same page in preparation if we had to open up this facility. At this point, there's a number of things that we are looking for out in the community. One is personal protective equipment, so N95 masks, gowns, any type of personal protective equipment to help ensure that the folks that are working within a facility like this or any one of our healthcare providers is protected during this time. The other thing that we're looking for are volunteers. So there's two different types of volunteers that we're looking for, both medical volunteers and non-medical volunteers. And the best way to get involved is to register to be a part of our Medical Reserve Corps, as well as our Community Emergency Response Team if you're one of those non-medical volunteers. If you are a medical provider here within the state and can assist with the facility, to reach out to our public health division at the City of Nashua, and they can identify what skills you have as a medical volunteer and how we might be able to use you at a facility like this. So we're hoping that we don't have to open up this facility. We're hoping that this is just a great exercise for us to practice the ability to open up a location, but we will be ready if we do need to open it up.
Called everybody to come in today is we wanted to do a brief walkthrough how the flow is going to work here. We're going to be working on afterwards is a pre-activation drill. So we'll actually start putting some people through so you actually get a chance to see how the flow is going to work. But before we did that, we wanted to bring you in so everybody got a chance to see what it looks like. You know, we've got the additions. They put the sheetrock up. The signage is now up thanks to the CERT team. The bedding is all in there, ready to go. So we just wanted to give you guys a chance to be able to see how this was going to work. Any questions before we begin? Just again, thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to turn it over to Bill Lincoln, who's my CERT team program coordinator, program manager. They have been working diligently for the last 2 weeks getting this place ready to go.
Staff will come in through that door there. They'll come into this area here, which is a clean zone. The building is set up such that the gyms are highly negatively pressurized. So you can see by that plastic there that they're just sucking everything in. This door and the door over there that's in this changing room will be sealed shut with plastic, just like that one is. It just hasn't been done yet because we've still got some construction going on, and that would be difficult. There. So what we're thinking is we'll have plastic bins available for the staff to take and come into the donning room here. Hand sanitizer station. All of the PPE will be in this room, so they can take their personal effects off, their coats, whatever, put it in the bin, put a cover on it, seal it, don their PPE in this room. We'll keep this stocked with masks and gowns and gloves and all that sort of stuff. And then they'll come through these doors here. This is the demarcation from the cold zone into the warm zone. Nobody will pass through this door coming out, with the exception of the food service and supply staff. So this hallway is also negatively pressurized, so all the air is still moving that way towards the back of the building. So then the thought is the staff will take their bin and they'll walk down to the doffing room, which we'll head down to. All right, so the staff, when they start their shift, they'll come down this hall with their bin of personal effects and they'll leave it on this side of the room in a sealed container, and then they'll go out and do their shift. If they want to go to the cold side of the building or at the end of their shift, they'll come back to this room with their soiled PPE. There'll be bins on that side of the room to remove their PPE and put them in the bins. And then there's a shower, staff showers right out here that are available. If they wanted to take a shower before they left, they come grab their personal effects, and they exit through that door right there that leads outside. So this way they're not walking back through the hot area or touching anything. You know, this room should be more of kind of a warm zone. And then if they wanted to come back in, they would re-enter that way. Anybody have any questions?
So when the staff that bring the food or anything else are coming halfway down the warm hallway, are they in PPE? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
we were thinking probably mask and gloves.
Okay.
Gowns probably aren't necessary, but
no, I agree.
mask and gloves is
mask
probably,
okay.
All right, so we'll fill this room first, and when this room hits capacity, then we'll start using the other room. Patients are all going to enter through these back doors here. That's where the bus, ambulance, whatever mode of transit they're using, will drop them off. And there'll be a registration desk there for them to be registered and signed in. There'll be cones along this back walkway here to just designate that there's a hallway type thing there. So when we start using the other room, there's a clear path and people know not to keep stuff in that path. The electrical, as you can see, is still work in progress. One of the things that's changed in the last few days is that the centers between the beds is where the electrical wires are going to go. So we're going to move the clipboards and the charts out to the other, and labels out to the other side of the beds here. So the areas in the blue are your walkways. The nurses' stations are set up with supplies already sent out. That list was provided last week of what we have in there. It was the list that we got from the medical staff and the guard. So we've got 2 for each section of the gym. It's got gloves, cavi wipes, you know, the standard stuff. We also have FRS radios, walkie-talkies. So there's a channel for each gym. So the nursing staff can communicate with each other in each gym. There's a channel for supplies, a channel for food service, and a channel for command, and a couple other channels as well. There's a communications plan that'll be at each desk, so you can switch channels to talk to different groups if you need to. Patient discharge is going to be through those doors down there, and we're going to have that parking lot out there set up, so there'll be cones that kind of make like a loop, so vehicles can come in and loop out based off the traffic plan. And we'll have a National Guard member, I believe was the plan. From what the captain was telling me, there'll be a member of the National Guard there from a security standpoint. And or policeman, one or the other, right? So we'll have officers at both entrances. So.
Question. So I just want to make sure people understand it's not a registration that's occurring like what you think of in healthcare. A patient gets registered. They're already registered in the given hospital that they're arriving from. That's the check-in point so that we can identify the patient.
Mark Hastings is one of our ICs. He's going to be the IC on the med side. I'm Mark Monroe. I'm the FEP coordinator for the greater region area. I will be taking care of the IC on the public health side. We have Bobby Bagley, our director, who's going to be overseeing the total command. We've got Patty Crooker over here, who's going to be in our planning section, and then we have various individuals working in the ICS org chart. So we think we're ready, and if there's any questions, we'd be more than willing to take those questions at this point. Bobby, would you like to?
So the purpose of the walkthrough today was to allow for the clinical folks that are going to be working here at the site to be able to tell us if this flow is going to work, and then what are the extra things that you're going to need. So you can see that the cots are all set up, the nursing stations are all set up, and the supplies are here. What are the things that you need for this to flow the way that it needs to for you when you're working here, or for the nurses, the clinicians, and the volunteers that are going to be working through. So we are going to have an exercise, a real-time drill, that we're going to have patient 1 come through the door and see how we make this thing flow. Mark is going to schedule that. So as you're going through, what do we need to have in place right now so that we know that we're ready?